Hello, this is just going to be a little update video really of what's been going on the Dit and Work side of things, what reviews we've got up and coming, where my own projects are. So first of all, these should be finished next week. All I need, I'm just waiting for some binding posts and I've got to drill out 2 more holes. I think I've got all the wadding and everything all sorted out properly. The drivers are all ready to go. Crossovers are all built up, ready to go. So hopefully next week I'll be able to do my first test of these all boxed up, sealed up properly with the crossovers external and have a real proper listening test to a pair in action. What's been happening today? So today I went off to Signals Hi-Fi, my local hi-fi store, because I was really interested in a pair of ATC speakers. I heard these first at the Northwest Hi-Fi show a couple of weekends ago in active format, and I really liked them. I thought, yeah, these tick a lot of the boxes for me. Sealed, dome mids, floor standing. Maybe it's time I went for some floor standing speakers. So I contacted Signals. They very kindly set up a system that was fairly close to mine. So they used the same quad Altera preamp. We used the quad Altera power amp, used exactly the same speaker cables and exactly the same XLRs, a Blue Sound Node 2i, which was running its internal DAC into the preamp. That's the only real major difference, that I obviously use my benchmark DAC in between those two. But essentially, we're pretty close to the setup that I've got. And I absolutely ripped through loads of my favourite tracks that torture speakers, tracks that I enjoy listening to, tracks that check bass response, imaging, so on and so on and so on. And here's a wee clip.
From grandmother's tooth, mountains of jewelry and toys, piled in the corners, mailed across the borders, presents for the girls and boys, presents for the girls and boys, tattooed.
So they sounded absolutely fine. They sounded really, really nice. There was plenty of detail, plenty of bass, that lovely, glorious mid-range, but they didn't excite me in the way that I was hoping they were going to. And this is what sort of brought us to a dilemma, that I'd heard the active at the Hi-Fi show. So what we're going to do, this is an up-and-coming review that I'll do at Signals Hi-Fi. We're going to do the active versus passive. And I've left it up to the guys at Signals to work out which power amp and preamp to use on the passive versions and what preamp to use on the active versions, because there is a difference in price between the two. So I can't wait to do that review. The other review that's upcoming is because of these.
Nothing leaves you alive.
So after listening to the ATCs and thinking, I don't know, these might not be for me, maybe it is the active passive thing, maybe they just don't work well in that setup. But the Russell K's, the Red 120s, were phenomenal on that setup, which kind of got me thinking, that setup's not a million miles away from my own setup. Perhaps the Russell K's will be the speakers for me. So I'm going to borrow a pair from Signals Hi-Fi, bring them home, and we're going to do a twofold thing here. I'm going to review them for you guys, and I'm also going to review them for me, because I really do think I like the idea of floor standers, particularly very narrow ones, which those Russell K Red 120s are. So just to summarize, my own SL project is nearly there. We're going to do a review on ATC passive versus active. Then I'm going to do a review on Russell K Red 120s in-house. And I'm really looking forward to doing that. Upcoming review next week hopefully will be the Neat Magistra, and there's a couple of other things I've got in the pipeline that I'm really looking forward to. So I'm really happy with the sort of direction that I personally have managed to get to with my own speakers, and the kind of information and product I'm able to show you guys now, which really is a massive thanks to Signals Hi-Fi, because I've really struggled to find anybody who will send me anything. Obviously, Alan Clark from Alcris Audio sent me 2 pairs of speakers. I'm eternally grateful for that. And obviously, upcoming Neat Acoustics are sending me a pair of speakers as well, which is great, because I've got to be honest, I can't keep buying speakers to review them, which really means I've got to either sell them on, which at times you sell for a loss, sometimes you break even, and sometimes if you're lucky, you might make a smidge of profit. But you then need to go and find something else to review. And with the second-hand side of things, I'm always, not that I'm worried about repairing it, I can repair it. But if you buy something and you don't know how it's been treated, you don't know if it's in specs, well, I've got to run through a whole load of things before I can really honestly review that product. As we're getting new stuff in, be it from a supplier or from my wonderful hi-fi shop, I know it's new, I know it's in spec, and I know it's going to be the best it possibly can be, which gives me the best material to review for you guys. So that's a little update on the Ditton Works channel. Take care, speak to you soon.